hardest part wasn't starting Mounjaro. It was getting to the point where I finally admitted I had run out of options. Because for years I honestly believed I should be able to do this on my own. Eat less, move more, be more disciplined. And when that still wasn't working, you start blaming yourself. I think a lot of people carry that around because there's a moment nobody really talks about where weight loss stops feeling like a goal and starts feeling more like a last resort. Hello everyone. So today I'm mixing things up and I'm filming outdoors. Look at that glorious blue sky. So I'm on Dartmoor in Devon and it's absolutely gorgeous up here today. It's a beautiful day. So I'm Mando's Midlife. I am on a medicated weight loss journey. I've been on it for around about 10 months now and I am 75 pounds down. I inject 10 milligrams every single Sunday into my little podgy belly. So this channel is all about midlife health, weight loss, honest conversations, and trying to build a healthier life without pretending any of it's perfect. Today, I want to talk about the moment weight loss stops feeling like a goal and starts feeling like a last resort. When people look at somebody starting Mounjaro, they often act like it's just some sudden decision. Like one day you've just woken up and thought, right, I'm going to inject myself to lose weight. But honestly, for most people, it's nothing like that. Usually there are years before that moment. Years and years of trying to sort yourself out, trying all the different Weight Watchers, Slimming World, Atkins diet. Years of convincing yourself the next attempt will be the one that finally works. And honestly, I've lost count how many times I restarted. Every Monday felt like another attempt at becoming a different person, a new person, a healthier person. New diet, new rules, new motivation. You tell yourself this time will be different. And sometimes for a few weeks, it actually feels like it's working. You lose a bit of weight, you feel hopeful again. You start imagining life differently. Then slowly it slips away. One takeaway becomes a bad weekend. One bad weekend becomes, I'll start again on Monday. And before you know it, you're back where you started. Or even worse, you've put on weight. That's the exhausting part people don't really see. Not one dramatic failure, but years of tiny disappointments that eventually start changing the way you see yourself. Because after enough failed attempts, you stop trusting your own promises. And this is the part people struggle to admit out loud. The hardest thing wasn't taking Mounjaro, it was accepting that I really, really needed help. Because deep down, I genuinely believed I should be able to do this naturally. I should have the willpower. I should be able to do this without taking this medication. And loads of us feel that way. You look at other people and you think, why can they manage their weight? And I can't. And if you're a man especially, pride gets involved. You tell yourself you just need more discipline, more willpower, more control. So when medication enters the conversation, it can feel like failure at first, like somehow you didn't succeed properly. And honestly, I carried that feeling for a while. And I think that's why people still hide it, because people can be unbelievably judgmental about weight. Nobody questions blood pressure tablets. Nobody questions antidepressants. But weight, everybody suddenly becomes an expert. Just eat less, just walk more. You took the easy way out. Meanwhile, they haven't lived in your body and they haven't lived in your head. The hardest thing wasn't the injection, it was the pride. And do you know the thing that really changed it for me? It was age. Because when you're younger, you convince yourself you've got time, you tell yourself you sort it out. Eventually, you'll start properly next month, next year, after Christmas, after summer, whenever. But midlife changes that conversation. Your body doesn't recover the same. Your energy drops. Your weight starts feeling physical instead of cosmetic. Your joints definitely ache more. You get tired easier. The simple things feel harder than they used to. And you slowly start avoiding things without even realizing it. Certain clothes, certain photos, certain mirrors. And I think at some point the whole thing quietly shifts. It stops being about looking better and starts becoming about what the next 10, 20 or 30 years of your life might actually feel like. And that hit me hard because suddenly this wasn't really about confidence anymore. It was about health, it was about mobility, it was about energy, it was about quality of life. And honestly, a little bit of fear. I'm not talking dramatic fear, quiet fear. The kind that creeps in when you realise your body isn't bouncing back the way it used to. And for the first time, you start wondering, what happens if I carry on like this? Right, now I'm going to answer a question that I get asked an awful lot. Now, where do you get your medication from? Well, I get my medication from a company called Bolt Pharmacy. I've been with them a few months now, and I think they're absolutely fantastic. They're really efficient. They're really helpful. They're a fully registered pharmacy in the UK, and their prices are pretty good too. Now, I'm going to leave a link in the description that's going to get you £40 off your first order. If you're in the US, there's also going to be a link there for Fella Health. Obviously, do your own research, make your own choices. All I'm doing is telling you which company I use. Right, let's get back on with it. So after my secret jabbers video this week, I realised just how many people are carrying these feelings privately. The comments genuinely surprised me, not because people were hiding it, but because so many people sounded emotionally exhausted by other people's opinions. And honestly, I understood every word of it, because once people know you're on something like Mounjaro, GLP-1s, Ozempic, it can suddenly feel like your weight loss belongs to everybody else. People will judge it, people will analyse it, people will dismiss it. Sometimes it feels like certain people are uncomfortable feeling someone improve. And I think that's why so many people stay quiet. Not because they're ashamed of trying to improve their health, but because they're tired of defending themselves, tired of explaining themselves, tired of hearing things like, you're just going to put it all back. Oh, you are cheating, you know. And here's the thing that really struck me. Most people on this journey judge themselves far harder than anyone else ever could, long before the public opinions started. And maybe that's why my thinking around all this has changed so much, because I don't really see Mounjaro as a miracle anymore. I don't see it as failure either. I see it as a help. I see it as a tool, an intervention, a second chance to finally break patterns that clearly weren't changing on their own. I treated it like a weakness, especially as a man. I thought struggling silently somehow made me stronger. But looking back now, all it really did was keep me stuck in the same old cycle for longer and longer. Because another decade of exhaustion, failed restarts, and quietly feeling unhealthy wouldn't have proved anything to anybody. It would have just damaged my health even more. I didn't need a miracle, I needed help. And honestly, I think a lot more people feel like this than they'll ever admit out loud, which is probably why conversations like this seem to hit such a nerve when people finally have them in an honest way. Right, before I leave you in peace and quiet, until Saturday that is, if this video in any way has helped you on your medicated weight loss journey, please like this video. If you haven't already subscribed to the channel, please do. If you've got any comments, just pop them down below. If you'd like to support the channel further, and as always, there's never any pressure to do so. There are many ways to do that. There are affiliate links down below. There's Buy Me a Coffee, and you can also become a member of the channel. I am forever grateful for you watching these videos. It does absolutely mean the world to me. I am just a middle-aged, chubby man who's sort of documenting his journey. It's all about sharing for me. It's all about telling you what it's like. I do exactly the same. I watch YouTube videos, and I look ahead to where I'm hopefully going to be soon, looking at maintenance videos and that kind of stuff. It's all a learning opportunity for me. I will pop a few of my videos on the screen right now. There will be a few updates there and a few issues along the way that I've had. So if you could check out those videos, that would also be appreciated. I will see you all on Saturday. Thanks ever so much for watching. Enjoy the rest of your week.